everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, though, is my co-host, Jose Romero.
Greetings, salutations, nerds out there around the world. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Life, family, taking up all my time.
Gotta do things. We gotta do things.
We gotta do things. Wasn't a whole lot that was going on for the most part. You know, a couple of big things which we'll get to, but it's good to be back. You know, back to normal. Get to go to Disney tomorrow, so see the mouse.
So look at that. You gotta feed corporate capitalism right there.
Gotta feed Disney. They gotta keep making Marvel. They gotta pay for it somehow, right?
Yeah.
So,
Listen. These Lilo and Stitch live actions aren't gonna make themselves. You gotta go to the park and put that out.
Yeah, Seagull's coming out, the budget gets bigger. We know. Yeah. I'm doing my part, contributing to the machine.
I like how you talk about supporting Disney the way Starship Troopers talked about the world. I'm doing my part.
Doing my part. Want to know more? That one needs to be remade. Either way. But yeah, I do hope you're doing good, Eric. I know it's been.
I've been busy, man. Been busy myself. We were just talking before the show started. I'm doing a new podcast that is not going to take away my time from this, so don't worry. We'll still be doing this called Bad Dads. It's a podcast I used to do before, but we're rebooting. We're rebooting now, so it's we're part of the machine itself. So we're rebooting
the machine, man.
Doing Bad Dads, and so I'm diversifying. I'm a comedian. I'm a comic book writer. I'm podcasting about comedy and dad stuff and nerd stuff. I got a lot of opinions, and it can't all fit over here, so it's got to go to other places. And a lot of it very inappropriate, which is why it's called Bad Dads and not Good Outstanding Dads. So just be aware of that.
Well, it wouldn't be you for some bad dads.
Listen, clearly, look at me.
Come on, let's go.
I'm barely clinging on to legal dad. So
fair enough. Let's get into it because I know we're a little short on time today, but. I know it's been a while, but I know we'll start with Alien. We'll do a couple of shows we haven't really circled back on. We started with Alien when it first dropped.
Yes.
You had seen 2 episodes out of the 3 that are released at that point.
So all of them now. All of them.
Of course, yeah. I'm sure you're caught up. Yeah, there's an episode
totally
tonight.
Caught up.
Tonight, we're excited. So yeah, man, let's get into it, man. How's it been since those first 2 episodes for you, man?
You know what? So long story boring. Great. Loving the series. I was a little bit nervous when they killed the alien off the jump. I was like, oh, really? It's going to be all the other... I thought when they killed the xenomorph, I was like, so now we got to deal with all these new aliens? That's kind of a... But I was like, no. You can't be aliens without having... And I like the fact that not only can you not have aliens without the xenomorph, but especially with the last episode they did, you got to love the fact that every time aliens run amok, it's literally because... somebody did not provide proper maintenance to a machine, and the machine breaks, and then all pandemonium breaks loose. It is the tale as old as time.
That's what happens. You don't feed the machine, dude. This is what
you gotta feed it. You
gotta turn, man. Let's go. Actually, the episode before this last one, which is great, but that one's kind of a flashback, showing us what happened in the show.
Right. Well, that was fun too. I really liked that.
Awesome. Yeah, that was like almost like an Alien sequel kind of thing, right? It was very cool.
Yeah, like a 1.5 kind of Alien. You know?
Right, exactly.
Really
very
cool.
That, yeah. The eye octopus, whatever. I don't know if you even said a name for it yet.
Listen, I don't know what the name of that octopus alien is. But I know that genetically it's a dick. That's what that alien is. He is a dick of the highest order, like from top to bottom. Like every time I see him, I think of the Dennis Leary song, I'm an Asshole. Like it just plows in the back of my head because that alien is down to give you the 2-finger salute all the time. That is what the alien does.
All the time, man. I love it. It adds such a different element to the alien. It's not just the alien, right? Which we love. Right. It's great, and it's there. And of course, it is. And I like seeing a little baby alien or toddler alien, I guess.
Right.
Not running amok apparently, but that goat thing, whatever, is really, he's just waiting there, just watching, doing his thing.
I gotta tell you, I don't know which alien I find creepier: the centipedes that drink all your blood until you become drunk off your guts, or that new alien, which is basically mosquitoes the size of poodles that throw up straight acid on you.
Yeah,
I don't know which one is grosser, but I'm not a fan of either.
No, I'm a fan in different ways. Like, I love it. Listen, very cool. I like. I'm seeing where it goes with Wendy, right, and
Wendy
and their connection or communication or whatever.
Yeah.
let's see where that goes. I'm very curious, but no, it's been really good, man. It's been stellar, man.
Uh,
I've been loving the show a
what do you
lot, man.
think of the whole? Because I know they're pushing the idea of like, what is synth life? Like, are you any part of you still human? And that one girl, Tips, that she thinks that she's pregnant. Like
Oh yeah,
that is probably more disturbing than the insects. Is this synth body is like, I'm pregnant, and because it's the mind of a child. Like, it is so messed up and heady that I'm like, this series could have been very simply just a one note kind of series, and the fact that it has multiple notes and different layers, it's been so interesting to kind of see the hubris of humanity in so many different ways, both in boy Cavalier just being a pretentious dick because he is
because you
essentially the
can, I
smartest
guess.
kid in the room.
Mm-hmm.
He is also blind to everything that he's setting up that's going to blow up in his face, which is probably why you don't hear about Prodigy anymore as a business. We're watching the fall of Prodigy in
Right,
real time.
probably, yeah. I think we know where this is probably going to end up going, I guess.
Right.
But I like that layer. Like we said at the beginning, like it could have just been a cool alien show. We would have been fine with it. I really would have. But giving us these elements, what is humanity? They're exploring that with the Sentinel. Love that, and different kinds of alien, all kind of jumbled in, and it's all making sense. It's all coming together. I love it. I
Yeah.
think it's great. They did such a good
Corporate
job.
intrigue is
So
super exciting too. The whole
yeah,
beef between him and Wade and Utani and what they're
yeah,
doing on the
yeah.
back ends, all that is super exciting. I'm surprising. And every episode ends with a great needle drop. I have no complaints. It's probably
Oh
one
no,
of the
yeah.
best series on TV right now.
Oh no, for sure, without question, that definitely the best series this year, probably I would say, thus far. But loving it. The other series, which I don't think we talked about at all, I don't think so.
No,
Is
because
Peace.
the last time was the first episode was gonna air. We didn't even get to watch
Oh,
it
we
yet.
didn't get to watch it. Okay, so yeah, so Peacemaker, of course, I think it's
Right?
in by 4 episodes. I think
Four.
four
Yeah.
or five. Okay, four. Your thoughts on this, man? Is this as good as we had heard leading into it?
So we're late to the party, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. The new dance sequence in the intro. Uh, I know a lot of people were a little bit like in a huff that it wasn't the same song. I was one of them, but like internally, I was like, oh, I kind
Okay.
of wanted that. Like I love the scene is at the end of the song where Eagly hits his mark and realizes he's off the mark and takes two steps over. Still to this day, it makes me giggle like a freaking idiot. Like, I love that stupid little joke. I The more I watch it, the more I'm getting into it because I'm realizing it's not just a dance, but it is kind of prepping you for what's going to happen in this series. Especially with the end where they're all laying down each other, I feel like a lot of people are going to die in this. There may not be a Peacemaker 3, is what I'm trying to say.
Really? Okay.
Because word around the internet rumor mill, but this is also something that everyone in the cast, including James Gunn, has talked about, is that episodes 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9, or sure, I think it's 7, 8, 9, are it changes the entire tone of the series because it's that like bananas. So what we're seeing is very much akin to season 1 of Peacemaker, but apparently the last 3 episodes it makes a hard left turn.
That's interesting.
So
I heard some
so
stuff like that. I'm not supposed to tie into or lead into Superman, which we'll
well,
talk about in
apparently
a
it's
second.
supposed to be in Superman.
Yeah.
Apparently
Yeah.
it is, but like in terms of like the tone of the overall series, it is a shift. So
I am definitely curious. Something's coming down the pipe, and I don't think for me that this season's been as good as the last one. It is, but I'm still enjoying it a lot. Right?
right.
Yeah. It's not like this, multiverse stuff is. I'm tired of it, but they're doing it well. To be fair,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
doing
not
very
making
well.
it about the multiverse. The multiverse is
Sure.
just the medium that they're telling the story, which is I
Correct.
think the smartest way to do the multiverse. The
Exactly. I
multiverse
mean,
should
just
not be
yeah.
the point of the story. The multiverse should be an aspect of the story.
Right,
But
and
the story
highlighting,
is
yeah, of course, and him being in that other world highlights how he
right.
feels in the current. That's really well done, right?
Absolutely,
That's a good
absolutely,
way to use multiverse, which we don't see
absolutely.
very
Now,
often, right?
here's the other thing that everyone's talking about, but we have not had a chance to talk about, especially because of who we are. I've been dying to ask you this question. I didn't even. I wanted to text you, and I was like, I'm not. I want to get Jose's opinion. Have you heard the rumor that the universe that Peacemaker's in, the alternate universe, is the Earth X universe of the DC universe, which is essentially the Nazi universe?
I heard something about that. I
Okay, so
don't.
here's what I noticed. Just that you know, first of all the people, if not all, 9 out of 10 people in the background, all white. You've not seen any minorities. Maybe somebody that's a little bit of a darker skin tone, but it could be like a high like a kind of thing where it's just like a they're like a cafe con leche kind of Latino maybe,
Mhm.
but it is they're all white. Secondly, when Peacemaker goes to Argus, there's American flags on everyone's tables, but they're you only see the stars and stripes, but you don't see the blue corner. So
Right.
like, so I've seen that, and I'm like, and then one thing where like even when he was talking to Harcourt in the universe, he says something like, "I'm just checking if you're cool." And she's like, "I'm cool," like that kind of slang. It seems weird to her, and I'm like, okay. And even the fact that he goes, "I'm dressed like a Kardashian," he has no idea who the Kardashians are.
The connection is, yeah.
So I mean,
I think there's definitely. I think it's clear that that was not what it seems to be. We know when it's obvious.
yeah,
I think at this
there's got to
point,
be
right?
a
It's
big
subtle,
rug
but it's
pull
obvious.
afterwards, right?
Yeah, it's fine now. And he's, what's her face? They can be together, and his father, his brother, and all that. It's good to see this guy from The Office eating again. Um,
Oh yeah,
I forgot his name. Oh my God, Roy. There we go.
yeah.
Good for him. The man's got to eat. But there's definitely something there, and I like that approach. I think it's just, it's gonna come crashing down because something's got to push him back into our world. I
I
guess essentially, right?
I will say it was great seeing Peacemaker be a badass because he's such a
Yeah,
goofy dum dum that
yeah.
you forget. Oh no, this dude is legit.
That was a
And
cool scene. Yeah,
so
when he's saving the hospital, whatever, the
yeah,
bombing, whatever.
taking all the. I was like,
Yeah,
that was dope. Like
yeah,
you forget, like
yeah.
it's almost like when you rewatch Suicide Squad, you see he's keeping up everybody. Like that's right,
Mhm.
he is a master assassin. He's an idiot, but he's a
Yeah.
master assassin,
No,
which
yeah.
is
When it comes to that, he
cool to
knows what
see.
he's doing for sure. And
Right.
Eagly taking care of it.
Oh,
That was a cool scene.
Eagly.
Eagly was
Eagly's
badass.
kicking ass and taking names
That was fucking
like
cool.
which
Yeah.
I gotta say, especially with this last episode, seeing what's his name be the Eagle Hunter, Michael
Oh,
Rook.
Michael. Yeah, who's
It
a staple in
just
all James Gunn properties, right?
absolutely. And listen, if you're gonna have anyone pretend to be a problematic culture appropriator, and by
Yeah.
the way, I've had this conversation with people. People are like
Okay.
he's appropriating culture. I'm like, no, because he looks like he's involved. Like he was taught the ways. He wasn't pretending to be. He looks
Right.
like he's about that life.
Like he grew up, exactly. He grew up that way. However, I don't know what you right taught or his parents,
Right.
whatever. One of his parents, who knows? But you're right. Yeah, he's not pretending to be
Yeah, he's not pretending. So I
that
hear people go,
American
"He's
or whatever.
culture
Yeah.
appropriate." I'm like, no, he's not, because culture appropriate is like when you dress up as like an Asian person on Halloween. That's cultural appropriation. If you're a stereotypical Mexican with a big mustache and the sombrero,
The
that's culture
poncho,
appropriation.
yeah,
Right, exactly. That's culture appropriation.
yeah.
He is the minute he was able to tap into the mystical field of eagle hunting. I was like, nope, this dude is legit. Everyone can shut the hell up.
He is
He's about that.
exactly. Yeah. People, it is what it is, dude. It's
Yeah.
interesting world we're living in, but whatever. But yeah, I
I
don't
always
see it
say,
that way
if
at
you
all.
can't
At all.
if you can't accuse Ken from Street Fighter of culture appropriating, you can't, because Ken is about that life with Ryu.
Can't about
That's
that
why
life,
they're
dude. How you can
so
do
you
that?
can't you
That's what I'm
can't. It's
talking
just
about, dude.
he's about that life, and he's about that life. That's all it is.
Oh man, so yeah, but yeah, so far it's good. It's really good. It's been a good show for me.
Yeah,
And I like the intro. I mean, yeah, it's not as good as the last intro. You're so used to it, and this, it's just I didn't hit the same, but it's growing
right.
more on me as I watch. It's like, okay, it's the
I,
dancing
I
is
feel
cool,
the
right?
same way. I feel the same
Yeah,
way.
and the songs like, okay, now I'm getting it's so last one is so good.
So
It can
good.
hit
I
that
mean,
mark. It's hard to hit that mark. It
dude,
really is.
when,
It's
when you
not
when
easy.
you nail it in one, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that first intro was the equivalent of like not looking at the basketball, throwing it, and it goes right. And you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, you can shoot it 80 times and it might go in once after that, right? I mean,
Right.
it is so it's a victim of own expectation. That's fine.
Yeah.
But listen, it's very good. Off to a good start. Looking forward to. I'm just curious how it ends off leading into Superman, which we'll talk about now because James Gunn came out and officially
Sure.
announced the Man of Tomorrow. That may change.
Sure.
The sequel to Superman, and it's releasing a lot quicker than anyone anticipated. July
Dude.
2027. Less than
Yeah.
2 years. Less.
Literally 2 years on the nose, technically, right?
Well, no, because it's July, so we're less than 2 years away.
Oh wow,
We're,
yeah, you're right, yeah.
yeah, so technically speaking, but yeah, so I think they're supposed to start shooting by summer, a little before that maybe. Which they need to get the film done before July. If they start by the
Sure.
summertime, they'll get 3 4 months shooting and
I mean,
six
the
months
good
six
thing
months
is
post.
you've already gone through all the costume arrangements. You know who's going to
Right?
be in it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a lot of like we've cut that pre-prep time down,
Yeah.
except for where we could do the big like honestly the biggest costume thing they have to work on based on the artwork they showed when they were promoting it is Lex Luthor's power suit. That's going to be the big thing that they're going to have to kind of show
Yeah.
like the work
And
on that.
that's yeah, and that's the big thing because now this is being built, or he's not being built. He's pretty much come out and said this is gonna be as big as a Lex Luthor story as it is Superman, and them
Right.
teaming up together or having a team up together against, of course, a common foe, enemy, or whatever. Um, Interesting idea. I am. I'm a little iffy because I don't want to see Lex Luthor be a good guy because he's so good the other way.
Yeah.
But I know
Well,
there's
here's
a
the
way.
thing. I don't think he's going to be a good guy.
Not a
Okay.
good
Do you
guy,
remember?
but I don't want
I,
to see him like be all chummy. He hates Superman. That should remain. I'm not
right.
saying it can't work, but you got that's a line you got to toe that I think you got to be very careful.
Absolutely.
Like just
Absolutely.
not don't make him sway. Now he's the buddies, and
No, no, no.
it
I don't think
can be
anybody.
done. It can be done, easily done for sure.
I think of it this way. Do you remember that TV show that they made a movie out of it, Lost in Space?
Yeah,
Okay, right. So Lost in Space, it was a family lost in space, and so it was a mother, father, son, and daughter, and then they had their space bodyguard, right? And they had
yeah,
another
robot.
scientist that was essentially the in-house villain, always trying to fuck him
Sure.
over, trying to do his own thing. You in terms of dynamic, that's how you gotta play Lex Luthor.
That
He's
has
the
to, it has
guy
to be
who's
that for
along for
real.
the
Yeah.
ride, but you cannot trust him for a second because all he needs is that second, and it's a wrap.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a motivation from teaming up to begin with. Not, I mean, besides, I mean, listen, for all we know, Earth is at stake, right? So he doesn't want
Sure.
him self-destruction, right? So preservation. Okay, I'll help you out. Let's get this. Whoever it is, I'll ask you. Who do you think is this new threat? There's an obvious
So
choice out there, right? I mean,
with the power suit, I'm thinking it's you're gonna have to deal with. They're gonna try to attack the problem through firepower at first. So I like to think Mongol. A Mongol is basically think
okay,
of Thanos, but not as smart. He's just as strong as Thanos, but he's essentially just like a powerhouse villain. Like he is like a warlord. So that's
okay,
what he is. He leads through terror and strength with no ideology except I'm the strongest, so you have to obey me. That's all he does. So if you're doing power suit, they could do that. The odds are on the internet wise, everyone's saying Brainiac should be the option
the
because
obvious
you have
choice, I
so.
guess. All right.
I mean, it's the one that we've been waiting for the
Sure,
longest, right?
correct. Yeah,
That's the thing. I'd like to see Mongol because it'd be a great like pivot. You can even have Mongol who you feel is the big bad, but then you find out all his plans are being generated by the Brainiac AI, and then the AI exists for another fight when they take him down. That'd be fun.
I think
But
that's a
like,
I think that's a better like set up Brainiac in this one, not necessarily
right?
the main villain, the guy behind the curtain, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
I get. I think it makes sense because from what I understand, again, speculation, whatever, rumors, Supergirl's supposed to be in this as well, right?
So it's Hawkeye, Hawkgirl, and
Hawkeye,
so is
same,
John Stewart Green Lantern is supposed to be in it too.
right? So Brainiac is not the brawn, right? You know, he's
Right.
not gonna fight him off, and there's no need for them all to go against him per se. But yeah, I think they need someone who's got some muscle, right? Who's a
Yeah.
physical threat. They need all their efforts to take this guy down. That makes
Exactly.
sense. And then maybe learn Brainiac was behind it on, and he set him up for
Right.
future installments,
I
right?
will say, Mongol, yes. Please don't do Doomsday yet. Don't
No,
do
no, no,
Doomsday.
no, no, way too early for that.
Because I'm
Yeah,
afraid, well, like, what's the biggest powerhouse? Yeah, I get it. But you dropped the ball so hard with
yes.
Snyderverse that you got to give that, like, make it a looming threat. Like, behind
Yeah,
Brainiac, there's
that's you can do.
another thing. Right.
Inevitably, when a Justice League, whenever we're sure that's gonna happen at some point, save it for that if you need to. It's too early
That
for
would be dope,
it.
dude. You know how cool
Yeah,
it'd be if the Justice League movie was them fighting Doomsday
that'd be
and
awesome.
Superman
Yeah,
dies at the end of that. So it's now they have to go forward without a Superman until like the sequel to Justice League. So you don't bring him back in a Superman movie, you bring him back in a Justice League movie, but it's the sequel to. That would be a really cool
yeah,
way to
yeah.
kind of
Correct. If they set it up
right.
right, unlike the last time,
Right.
excuse me,
Yeah.
that
Set up
will
right.
work. But you're right, someone like him, I don't want to see Bizarro. I don't want to see the whatever.
Yeah. Because
I don't want to
we
see
kind of
that.
saw
We just saw
Bizarro with
that.
Ultraman already, so it's kind of already
Yeah,
set.
yeah, we
Obviously,
don't want
man,
to
we've
see
done that
that.
already.
Yeah, we don't bring that back. But yeah, something like Brainiac. If it is Brainiac, maybe he creates something. I guess I don't know, whatever a version of it or
I
what's
mean,
a big.
the only way I
I don't
could
know.
see the Brainiac thing working is that Brainiac makes Metallo, and Metallo is basically a Terminator who's powered by kryptonite. And so when Superman goes to fight him, he can't because the kryptonite's weakening him. So now you got to bring Lex Luthor to figure out a way to hack Metallo because he's that smart. And
That
also
could work. Yeah,
he's got to get close enough so you have the power suit so he can get, so that could be something. But also, once again, Brainiac being the guy behind the gun.
behind the guy, right? Like if
Behind the guy.
I'd rather if they don't, that's fine. But I'd rather them not
Right.
show him until like the very end or some shit, right? Whatever.
Absolutely.
What about the gorilla guy? Because I've heard him
Gorilla
talking
Grodd?
about. Yes, they want
Gorilla
to bring
Grodd.
him in.
Well, Gorilla Grodd is typically a Flash villain, so
He
unless
is,
you're
but
gonna
you
bring
can
Flash
still
in,
bring him in.
I
It
mean,
doesn't
yeah,
have to
listen,
be
you can mix and match
Flash.
anybody you want.
Because he's got some. He's not dope. He's got
Right.
intelligence and he's physically imposed. You can make him even
Yeah, and
stronger
he's
in this
telepathic.
version, right?
He's
Right.
Professor X level, well, almost Professor X level is telepathy.
Yeah.
So you can take people over, make them fight each other.
That
All
exactly.
that.
So
And who
that's
doesn't
yeah,
listen?
yeah.
If the Planet of the Apes movie has taught us anything, is who doesn't love a good CG ape? Like that is just money in the bank. And if a big silverback gorilla who's like mentally trying to take over the world, it seems like a lot of fun.
As
I
long as you
also,
end up in the Abraham Lincoln Memorial, we'll find
yeah,
you.
there you go. You go back
Yeah.
in time.
We
Really,
can
it goes,
avoid that.
oh, you know, you can't escape it. You got to go back. So yeah, so I like all of that. Some of the villains that I want to see that I don't want to see in this movie, though, I'm a
Okay.
big fan of Parasite, but I don't want to see Parasite in this movie yet. That's keep them for a
Yeah.
later
Yeah,
villain.
that would have made sense for now. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a little Lobo versus Superman. We're getting Lobo and Supergirl. I wouldn't mind seeing Lobo and Superman
I don't know if
kind of
they're
go
making
head to
the
head.
villain. I don't know if they're making the villain this next one.
Not
I
a
don't know.
villain, but like a mid level boss.
It depends how he's portrayed in Supergirl. I guess. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
there could be friends between them. For all we know, we don't know yet, right?
Well,
Maybe they are,
I think they're
or
playing because I read the
maybe.
Supergirl
I don't
graphic novel. They do send a bounty hunter after her, and even though he's not in the graphic novel, they talk to the writer. He goes, "In my original pitch, the bounty hunter that she fights was Lobo, but I was told I couldn't use Lobo, so I had to
gotcha.
pivot to this other character."
Right.
So you're just reinforcing his original idea. So it'd be kind of cool if you saw Superman and Lobo fight, and then Supergirl shows up, and he's like, "Oh, it's you! All right, that's cool. Like, you know, you could do something like that." He goes, "I was hired, but you know, I'll give you a word of advice. The guy who hired me, you don't want to mess with him." And he takes
Right.
off, and that would almost be a great cold open to the movie. You know, in Superman, in this Superman, the cold open was him crash landing into the snow, and them taking to heal him because imagine the cold open is Metropolis peaceful. And then Superman comes flying through a building, but he's from getting hit. And Lobo comes in and just starts fighting, and they're fighting each other. And then Supergirl shows up, and he's like, "By the way, you don't want to mess with this guy." And he takes off, and that's how it opens. You're like, that would be awesome because it lets you
That'd
know,
be
like,
interesting.
there's somebody who can give Superman a run for his money, and he's not even what has nothing to do with the movie. He's just letting you know, like, somebody hired me, but because I didn't realize you two of the thing are related, I'm as a courtesy, I'm gonna leave. But I'll let you know what's up. You know, so that'd be kind of a fun way to do it. But you know, I would like to see him, but it would be almost like if you get everything else right, then throw in Lobo. But if you can't fit in, don't put him in.
Yeah, don't force him in. That's not force him in.
Right.
I mean, obviously, he's gonna be part of this universe, world, whatever. And again, we'll know more about him once we see Supergirl next year, right? Essentially. But let's see. Listen, but so far, that's it's the only one coming out next year in 27. No, for DC anyway. I think. Oh no, Batman 2's coming out that year, but that's not
Batman 2, and so is Doom War.
But that's not the DCU anyway.
Or Doomsday. Sorry, Doomsday.
Right, but on the Marvel side, I'm just talking about
right.
DC.
From DC, only Supergirl.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's but
Supergirl
also
next year, and then next year
the
Superman
Lantern
and
series.
Batman.
The Lantern series.
Well, we're gonna get the series for sure. Obviously, the series, but just
right.
like films, we should get one. Again, Batman doesn't count because he's not part
right.
of this world, so that's really one DC movie in each
it
year.
doesn't
so
count
good.
yet.
I mean, who knows? We haven't heard shit. Oh, the script is great, apparently. Whatever.
Apparently,
What are they gonna say? Oh, this script sucks. Okay, whatever. But yeah,
what if the Peacemaker? What if the Peacemaker door opens up and that Batman comes into TCU and that's how you get him?
I swear to God, if you see Robin Pattinson, people will blow their minds. I swear to God, I'll be like, geez, X and Thread all just shut down. It's just too much traffic at that word.
Oh,
But
it's great. I mean, great.
in a good way. Let's go to Marvel. Okay, just the last thing we'll talk about.
Sure.
Obviously, listen, Doomsday is what we're looking forward to, and the Spider-Man's coming out, but I don't think anybody cares for now. They will.
For
They will be
now. For now.
for now. Apparently, it's just about finished wrapping up filming. Principal photography. They started in April, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So okay, so whatever, post production from this point forward. But yeah, we got an image of Doctor Doom, digital image and all that. Look cool. I mean, I guess. I mean, whatever. They didn't
It had
reinvent the wheel, with what we know of. And,
but you don't reinvent the wheel when it comes to
no,
Doom.
no, of
Like
course
Doom's
I'm saying
design is
it's yeah,
so good. Like
exactly.
it is a masterclass in simplicity. To me, honestly, I put the Doctor Doom costume on par with Batman's costume. Like it is so iconic and simple. You can
Okay.
adjust it, you can flourish it, but do not change it. Besides his basic outlook, and that is exactly what that drawing did. Like they gave his arms chainmail instead of like the full robotic, plating, kind of like an Iron Man suit. So I know they're differentiating with the textures. They're giving like his the medallions that keep his cloak locked in have symbols on it. You're getting like little detail flourishes. Maybe there's a story behind it. Maybe there isn't. Who knows? So, but like I got to tell you, one thing that made me super excited, and it sounds super dumb, but I only saw the Fantastic Four movie once. I'm probably gonna watch it a few more times, or at least one more time before it gets to streaming. Which, by the way, shout out to Fantastic Four. They passed the $500 million mark. You're doing it. You're
Yay!
doing it, buddy. You're doing
All
it. Like, don't
right.
let anybody put you down. You're doing it. Yeah, the little engine that could. Listen, I mean, Superman is like 625, but you guys are like at 508, and that is respectable. So, very excited about that. But like, uh, uh, the little changes they're making on. Oh, so the thing that I like the most on his face mask, he has the rivets. I don't remember seeing the rivets in Fantastic Four when you see the mask in his
Oh,
hand.
okay.
So I
Okay.
was like, oh no, is there no rivets? But when I saw the image, the rivets are there. So I was like, thank you.
All right,
Something
cool.
about the Doctor Doom design, I feel like the mask needs rivets. It just makes it feel more like a trap, like he's stuck in there, even though it's self-imposed. That I like. It's subtle, but to me, visually, it means a lot. And the fact that that image showed the rivets, I was like, that is so much of my fears have been assuaged visually from that I'm
Right.
just like very excited about what we're going to see next.
Yeah.
So,
And we got a synopsis apparent. I mean, this is
oh,
legit.
okay.
Legit. It's just very short, one sentence, two sentence thing. So that not deep into it, but this is confirmed. I forgot where it came out of, but legit. So basically, and I'll read it. Doctor Doom officially arrived in the MCU. Yeah, big deal. This villain, a master of cutting edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. So a couple of things there. One is his prowess not only in science but in magic, right?
Well, he's
Interesting.
50-50,
Yeah.
which makes him a problem. Like,
Right, exactly. Right. So he does both. It kept that or
right,
whatever. Yeah. So that's
exactly.
good. But I guess this, you tell me, this may differ from the comics or whatever. I don't remember. I don't know or remember reading or whatever that he unleashes a cascading event. Right. There's something that occurs and he
So, do
stops
you
or
want me to
whatever.
nerd spoil this for you to kind of explain it, or I mean, because I can nerd explain it for you.
Yeah. Why not? I
Okay,
mean,
so
what does this mean to you?
in
Yeah.
in the Time Runs Out storyline that Jonathan Hickman was doing, that was eventually him showing all the cards that was going to lead to the Secret Wars event. Time runs out. So the big storyline was there was incursions happening and the multiverse was dying because something happened to cause multiverses are crashing into each other, creating incursions. And incursions either both universes die from the crash, or if one universe destroys the other universe, the universe that gets destroyed, the other universe is allowed to pass through. So it becomes a moral question: like, do I let you live? Do I let you die, or do I let my universe live? Like, where do we both die altruistically, or do we fight for the existence? Which is like a big moral dilemma for superheroes to go to, because you have to actively kill an entire universe to save yours. And how it was a great read on it. And then you find out that there's this order, a sisterhood called the Black Swans, and they were essentially going through the multiverse, checking out which ones were going to be ready to hit next. Like they were like, if we show up, it's because we know you're about to crash into another multiverse. We want to catalog who survives and who doesn't. That was their whole thing. Then you find out that the Black Swans were in service to a guy called Rabam Allah. Uh, and so no one knew who Rabam Allah was, and so it was a whole big quest where you had Thanos and the Maker, which was the evil Reed Richards from another universe, that teamed up, and they were actively destroying multiverses on just because they were saving universes by murdering another. They were just loving murdering other multiverses, and then Doctor Strange teamed up with this multiversal, intermultiversal magic order called the Black Priests, and they were trying to find out. And then you find out that all the multiverse have been created by the Beyonders, and the Beyonders had a plan that turns out the multiverse was just an experiment to them, and they were getting ready to detonate all the multiverses. But something had happened to cause the multiverses to create these incursions, which if they detonated was going to be more damage to the universe than they were planning to do, which is why they weren't holding off the worst case scenario. They were just blow everything up anyway. And then you find out that Rabam Allah was actually Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom was trying to save the multiverse, but when he realized that the multiverse was going to end any which way, he figured out a way that if I can end it this way, I can put the Beyonders behind the eight ball, and I could force them to save the universe. And if he does it, he was going to blow them up with their own detonation system to take them out and hopefully try to save what he could. So that's what they're saying, is that they're implying that Doctor Doom is creating the incursions because
Right.
he's been fighting the Beyonders from behind the shadows, and all this stuff's been happening because he had to go back in time to cause everything to happen this specific way to force the Beyonders into an ultimatum of either save us or die with us. You don't get to walk out of this. And that's what that was doing. Which, in the comics, the character that we're using as the triggering mechanism in all the multiverses was the Molecule Man. But in the movies, I think it's going to be a combination of like Franklin Richards, of like Wanda Maximoffs throughout the multiverse, and I think even the Sentry. They're going to be it's like the trigger mechanisms, or maybe they're going to be able to affect the anchor beings from other multiverses, and that's going to be the big bomb that he's going to try to set off to use against the Beyonders. That's what I think. But that's your Nerdsplaining right there.
Right. Okay. But do you think Beyonders is part of this version in the MCU?
I
Because
don't know. Maybe it's the Beyonders,
yeah.
maybe it's a TVA. They could use a
Okay.
TVA something out of it. But like that is the comic book version. I'd like to see a Beyonder, but
Sure.
I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that
Yeah,
off.
it's a lot to set
It's a
up
lot.
for
It's a
that. Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if
Right.
they may just take them off and whatever.
With the
Again, you're right.
TVA already
TVA
having like
or
the time loom, and having Loki
right,
holding on to all the multiverses already, you
right,
kind of already have a little bit of like
right. It's
confusion with the Beyond.
established
Right.
exactly. So
So
okay,
just like just like
we know
Infinity
that.
War,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
Infinity War wasn't a note for note of the Infinity Gauntlet. As long as you
Of
hit the
course.
major the
Right, the broad
benchmarks,
strokes
right?
and okay, fine, fair enough. So
So
this is we'll see. It sounds interesting. I mean, it's a lot to handle for them. Even, there's a lot of characters, a lot of stuff going on here. I did hear those rumors or whatever stories. I don't know, nothing confirmed at all, just speculation basically. But to show the prowess that is Doctor Doom, what he can really do, will be almost like when they introduced, well, not introduced, but when they had Thanos at the beginning of Infinity Wars kicking Hulk's ass up and down
right,
the fucking place. Something like that. I guess now what I heard is him Doom like ripping apart Thanos, which happened in the comics.
it does.
Right. So something like that to kind of establish, oh shit, right? We know
Right.
Thanos since he just got his ass handed to him, right?
But
Interesting.
if they could do one of two ways, they could have Doctor Doom attacking a multiverse where Thanos won,
Right.
and then he kills Thanos to make that universe fall. That would be a cool way to let you know, yo,
Right.
Doctor Doom is legit.
Yeah. Because
The
they need
other
something.
way,
They need something kind of to say, oh shit, this guy he's legit, right? And
right,
with Thanos
right,
it was great because Hulk was like Hulk, it's unstoppable, and
yeah,
he was like he toyed around with him basically. This is what happened. Yeah. Without the Infinity Stone powers.
right, yeah, like
It's
just like let it
barehanded.
get it working as
Yeah,
light work.
exactly. Yeah, let me cook and leave me alone. So that was cool. Great way to introduce him and say, hey, we don't fuck around with this guy, right?
Right.
So they'll need something like that. And you mentioned that, like him killing Thor, wasn't that? You said something like that, or
I wanted him to either kill Thanos or the other way, but I don't know if
was it
it's
Thor? I
possible.
think.
What is one Thor?
But yeah, did you mention that? I don't know. I could have sworn you
Well,
said
Thor
something.
dies while fighting the Beyonders in the comics. That's
No,
what
but
happens.
I could have sworn you thought he might die
No,
in this one by the
no,
hands of Doctor Doom. I don't know. Maybe.
no, no. What I wanted
Yeah.
to what well the other thing I wanted to do is I would love to see Doom wipe out the Council of Kangs.
Okay.
And that's, since we already introduced the Council of Kangs, how do you put a button on it instead of just oh yeah, Earth 616 and Jason took care of, like, no, like, you already took the time and effort to introduce them in an Ant-Man movie. So what better way of showing that arena and it's just corpses everywhere and just Doom walking by, and like the last Kang is there and he murders that one and he's like, nothing is above Doom or something like that, and that's how the movie starts. And you're like, perfect. Like, that would be, either one of those is a great way to kind of set the tone. Like, this is how legit this dude is.
Not any it'll need that. So
Yeah,
listen, I'm sure we're gonna get a trailer. I'm thinking Super Bowl would be the ideal time, right, to introduce like the initial teaser.
a teaser, a teaser.
Right, not the like a minute long. Well, a teaser now is almost like a trailer, but yeah, like a minute and a half.
Right.
That kind of deal. You hear his voice in the background, a couple of images, shit
I
like
don't
that,
think a
right?
minute. I think you
Yeah.
do 30 seconds to 45 seconds, not even a full minute.
They should do about a minute and a half. It's usually how these new teasers have been going over the last couple of years, right?
Okay.
Not showing a lot. A minute and a half, you just be images from prior movies, but you hear the
Right.
overlay of the voice and then Doctor Doom's voice and Downey Jr., whatever, and they show like a quick scene or something along those lines, right? Getting us ready for that, like have because the film is filming already. So by February, January, February, they'll have something to be put together. I
Well,
think.
they've been filming since
Yeah.
since earlier last year.
Since
So,
well, they began filming in April.
oh, February, April. Okay, so okay.
Yeah, but I mean that so they're wrapping up with just about already wrapped up or wrapping up. So it's been 4 months. That's more enough time. So yeah, they'll have something to show for sure by then.
Sure.
Again, even a teaser. I said just read this thing now, but I guess I forgot Dave Bautista wasn't Highlander because Henry Cavill got injured, so
All
delayed the
right. Yeah, yeah.
production. But he says this is just a quote. I just popped up my feed here. The action is on par with John Wick. Just calm the fuck down. Just relax. Relax. I would love it to be true, but let's set the bar low, man. You gotta say the action's on par like Punisher War in the first Punisher or whatever, and people are like, ah, and they see it like, oh my god, it's way better.
Well, but here's the
You
thing.
gotta under promise, over deliver.
You have to
It's
explain which
you know,
John Wick. It could be just the first John Wick. It could be like on par
come
with
on.
John Wick. There's four of them. You got to pick. You're assuming four. Maybe it's one where they start off modestly.
You're creating a high bar no matter what, right? You pick anyone,
Fair.
fine, whatever. It's a high bar. It's like that's easy. I know you want to hype it. I get it. Just tone it down just a bit. Though. Something Dave Batista. Yeah, I like you, man, but come on, just saying. Maybe that's why he got hurt. There's so much action. Henry Cavill got hurt. But that said, listen, lots of stuff to look forward to. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks we'll get some more info and all this. And I know James Gunn never shuts up about anything. So
You should tell him to tell us more stuff exclusives. Since you guys are so buddy buddy.
so I'll call James up, Mr. Gunn. And a little one-on-one. Say, listen, come on, this way, just meetings for you to use to disseminate some of this information, right? But we'll get more from him, I'm sure. But that said, those are nuggets for the week.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support you always give us. Even when we're a little bit busy, you guys will let us know you were looking forward to the next episode, and we appreciate all that. Don't forget to watch this show and others on the Latin Nerd Network here on YouTube. You can watch The Analyst's Choice. You can watch The Watch List, which is great. And you, of course, always watch Nerdsplaining. Don't forget to go to ericdasilva.com, ERICDASIOVA. You could pick up a digital copy of my comic Danger Squad. Also buy my album Adorably Offensive as well. And also, new podcast coming out soon called Bad Dads. We're recording episodes now. We'll have an actual studio, and it'd be very dude of dad of stuff thing. So enjoy that. Many dark things I could never talk about here. We get to riff over there, so enjoy that as well. And let us know what you thought about Alien Earth and Peacemaker, and what do you think about the Doctor Doom costume, and what we talked about from the last time, who the mysterious fight behind the scenes were. We still want to know about that, so let us know all those things and more. Once again, I've been Eric Da Silva. This has been Jose Romero. We have been Nerdsplaining, and if you don't know, now you know. Boom.